What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In today's video, a live stream video, I'm going to be talking a bit about the Manta update, the Manta Pacific airdrop, give you an update, address some of the most common questions, and also open up some boxes live. So if you're one of those people who either use a referral code of mine or a referral code that I gave you of one of my team members, you're going to see your name up here if I haven't already paid you back, and we'll see what you get. You'll get a share of an NFT, and we'll talk about how that will all be handled. So without ado, let's get started. Before we get into the video, just remember, nothing here is financial advice. You got to do your own research. With the cryptocurrency market booming, we are starting to see a ton more people come into the space. A lot of grifters who actually disappeared during the bear market, and now that we're back full swing, people are on here for views. If you check my video history out, I have been here in the bull, in the bear, and I'm back here for the bull. So make sure you support me by making sure that you subscribe to the channel. About 1/3 of you watching this video, when you watch this video, would have been subscribed. 2/3 are not subscribed, and also only 10 to 30%, 15% of you have your all notifications on for this channel. Yesterday, I posted a very time-sensitive video. Glad to see there's tons of good reception on it. I think a lot of you got in there, got your qualification for the airdrop, for the sale airdrop. So make sure you hit that button so that every time I post a video, you get notified. Now, if you don't remember, Manta Pacific is the first Ethereum L2 on Celestia, and they're having a really cool campaign where you can bridge over either ETH or USDC, and you earn box pieces. And these box pieces eventually will form, 25 will form a box, and that box can be opened up and you'll find an NFT inside. Leapfrog was a big help for a whale, so thank you. I'm glad you found that helpful. I'm trying to get people off Kepler. I know Kepler is what everyone's used to, but sort of the Leap ecosystem and sort of their tool is so good. One page to do all your governance checking, one page to see all your airdrops. What can be better? I'd rather do that than use Kepler, which, I'll be honest, is very outdated, and they're falling behind. So far, you got 3 NFTs with Manta, and they were all the same. Yeah, I've gotten 4 NFTs, and they were all the worst ones so far. One of my friends opened up a Elite box, and he sold it for half an Ethereum right away. So some people just got that luck, So when it comes to Manta Pacific, the goal here is to accumulate the Manta token for the airdrop, and there are tons of ways to do that. Now, Manta, which is sort of the new paradigm L2, will be competing with Blast and other L2s. We know stuff like Arbitrum. So there's tons of exposure in Ethereum, tons of money coming in. I'm actually super pumped because one thing we didn't talk about is, have you guys thought about all the Ethereum that's being staked right now? If you take a look at Ethereum just holistically, it has not done so well compared to Solana and other tokens. And if you think about it, it really doesn't make that much sense, because Ethereum in the high point last summer was 2,100 US, Bitcoin was 30K. AVAX was like 14, Solana was like 25, 30. Everything else is 3x. Bitcoin has 1.5, it went up 50%. Ethereum's gone up like less than 10%, maybe 10% max overall from the high to the high of the year from last year. And what people don't realize is a lot of these protocols require us to stake Ethereum, which takes Ethereum out of the supply. That means less sell pressure. Eventually, the sort of bull cycle will turn on for Ethereum, and we're going to see it run up so hard, because they're not going to be Ethereum out to sell. Almost all this Ethereum is being locked up in protocols like Manta Paradigm. So just giving you that alpha here first, that's what I think is going to happen. Obviously, we don't know, right? But it would make sense, I think. Donut3 says, thanks for the new airdrop details as always. Yeah, you're welcome, and happy new year to you too. Yeah, I think ETH is a fantastic buy. I think it's the best buy that's available on the market right now. If you're not airdrop farming for something else, getting ETH and stacking ETH is huge. I have been buying nonstop ETH from a centralized exchange and funding my wallets with it just to keep stacking it as it stays around the $2,200 to $2,300 range. So that's what new paradigm is. Now, if you want to know more about this, you can check other videos on my channel. I made a full guide on the airdrop and how you can qualify, so I don't want to cover that here. You can find all that on the channel. You can also find out my rewards revealed. And in this, I show like how the rewards will be allocated, okay? How many ETH do I have? So on the account that I use for YouTube, I have like 9 Ethereum, I believe. I have like, what is it? So one of the things I tell you guys is you need to have a hardware wallet that does not interact with anything. So this ledger right here has 0 protocol interacted with. I only send money to and from it. And this ledger, let me tell you, has triple-digit Ethereum. And the reason for that is it is one of my biggest holes. It and Bitcoin make up probably the biggest parts of my portfolio. But I am not risking this by connecting this ever, because even if I do everything else right, I don't want to connect this to something and add any sort of risk. So this will never be connected to a protocol. Watch my video on security to understand sort of my logic there. But yeah, triple figure for Ethereum count. Hope that helps. How do I stake my ETH? So you can stake your ETH on a ton of protocols. You can go to EigenLayer, you can go to Swell Network, you can go and liquid stake them and sort of restake. I think Ethereum is probably the easiest thing to stake. You can go on Aave, other protocols. I probably won't have time to cover that in this video, but you can stake it a ton of places. I would always go with the most reputable places, even if you don't get the best yield, just because it's, for real, like it's really, really good. Now, the one thing I will say is, in a bull market, I'm not the biggest fan of staking. Maybe, people will disagree with me, but I literally want it to rise up and I want to be able to flip some and take profit. And, because things don't go straight up, right? They go up, they come down, they go up, they come down, usually in cycles. And I plan on doing a ton of flipping there. So that's not the reason I keep most of my ETH in the ledger. So in my security video, I said, you want to have, how do I put this? You want to have 2 types of wallets. You want to have a wallet that is specific for your day-to-day, right? It's kind of like the wallet you put in your pocket. You put your money in there and you want to sit there and go, okay, great. I'm going to use this to interact with protocols. I'm going to use this whenever there's like an airdrop farming or any of the staking stuff. But then every time I'm done with it, I'm sending this money back to my main wallet. And the reason I want to send it back to my main wallet, which doesn't touch anything, that's my bank, that's my fortress. The reason for that is I don't want anything touching it. I want to bring to 0 the chances that I can lose the money on this thing. No matter how much I do, there are still chances I can lose all the money in my other wallet, even though it's protected by a Lattice device. I won't show it right now, but I think I've shown it on previous videos. It's a Lattice Grid Plus. Because I interact with protocols, because I'm connecting it to stuff, there's always a chance something happens, right? No matter how vigilant you are. So this is my safety. This is my bank account. This is my, I consider this like your life savings kind of thing. You wouldn't take your life savings and go on a trip. Whenever you go on a trip, you wouldn't take all your money out and put it into your pocket, right? The same thing here. And even though, Manta Network is fantastic, once again, I always diversify risk, and I'm not putting a ton of Ethereum in here, especially because, one, I didn't fully understand the protocol when it first came out. And then as details got revealed, it seemed like because the rewards are very NFT focused, it's obviously a bunch of luck. So yes, it's a lot of fun to do this and I want to participate. but I always allocate a certain fraction of my portfolio, right? Manta is not the only one I'm in. I'm in Blast, I'm in Swell Network, and a bunch of other projects as well, each putting multiple Ethereum here and there. So I want to sort of split that up, and all of that adds up to like maybe 15, 16 Ethereum, right? So I have 9 Ethereum unstaked, and I think 15 to 16 staked right now across a bunch of platforms, or they're on like, ZK Sync or whatever like that. Yeah, exactly. I think more profit flipping than staking in a bull market. In a bear market, hey, you know what? Stake it because you want that sort of secure income. So one of the things people have been asking me about is LayerBank, right? If you look at LayerBank, the APR is terrible, like 0.12%. Why would you ever want to sort of stake your stone and everything here? Well, it's not really the dollars we care about when we're doing this. When we're doing this, we're actually going to the rewards page. And when you supply, every dollar worth of assets deposited gets you 0.15 points every 6 hours, right? So if you use LayerBank's Manta mainnet, you will earn points and receive Manta tokens after the TGE of Manta. So the way this works is you earn points, and then you get an allocation of points divided by the total number of points given out for Manta, and that will be given a portion of the 4.2 million tokens that are dedicated for LayerBank, Shoebill, and others. So it's a little more confusing than first appears. Shoebill is also another opportunity, and I'm looking at probably bringing another Ethereum into this. And the reason for that is over here, they have 54 million supplied of Ethereum. For LayerBank, I believe it's like 72 million. So there is, 72.5 million. Oh, sorry, 242.9 million. So it's like like 50, like 5 or 6x. Yeah, about 5x more. 5x more on LayerBank staked than Shoebill. So maybe Shoebill might be a better opportunity if they divide them equally, the 4.2 million tokens that are given, right? So that's one thing. The other thing I would recommend, if you haven't done so already, is just take a look. This is Kepler. I mean, I know I said Kepler's old, but if the one everyone understands, just make sure you're staking some Celestia. This protocol, Manta Network, this Manta Paradigm Network, is a Celestia protocol, Ethereum Celestia. If that's the case, why aren't we staking TIA token? TIA being Celestia. And the reason for that is they will likely end up rewarding with Manta tokens for these holders. Remember, the Manta drop of 50 million tokens. 50 million tokens. It is not just the only Manta drop that exists. That's the drop for the new paradigm holders, or the new paradigm initiative. There's a complete different Manta drop for those outside of it. And I believe that this staking Celestia tokens will be a part of it. I've heard many others say the same. And I don't know if it's been confirmed, but that's one thing. Now, let's say you're like, hey, I really don't want to bother with this protocol anymore. I'm not lucky. I'm not going to get the NFTs. You can go to Aperture Swap. By the way, I've linked every website I'm showing in the description below. And you can actually trade in ETH for a stone. So you can trade 0.93 ETH for a stone right now on Aperture Swap. And yes, you will not get the NFTs per se, but you can restake this in either LayerBank, Shoebill, or whatever to earn some of that yield. But what's really cool here is you lock up a free 7% because it's stone for now. When the withdrawal gets unlocked, this will be worth 1-to-1 Ethereum. So if you just want to take a 7% yield, and instead of APY being 7%, it's like 3 months, about a little less than 3 months, and you get 7%, and you can still stake this to earn the extra from LayerBank or Shoebill. That's another opportunity. This thing goes up and down. You may be able to snag a 10% premium. So just keep your eyes open because this is not a bad deal. At one point, I think it was a 12% differential. So you can definitely do that. This is not a bad play. Now, the new paradigm campaign is confusing for a ton of people. I'm going to talk about our team in a second, but what happened here is it was not very clear how the box pieces were going to be distributed and all of that at the start. So some people thought, hey, if I put a fraction in, that should be enough. If you check their Discord, there was a ton of people upset because they're like, oh my God, this is a whale drop. Because, you see people like Virtual Bacon, who's got like 233 of the gold NFT, right? Meanwhile, I've got one of tier 1 backers. I've sold 3 of the tier 1 backers at like $6. I'll talk about that in a second. But what happens is people have a ton of questions, and I wanted to make sure I answered them. So I've been getting, some variation of the following questions all over my YouTube videos. People will say, number one, I didn't receive a box since I deposited. What I do wrong? Well, some people got an initial deposit reward, and you got the initial deposit reward because you completed some quests on Galaxy, right? So I think if you did that, you get like 8 boxes or 9 boxes just for starting, which is absurd, right? That's to put that in perspective. I deposited 2 ETH, and I've referred a ton, and I'm still not past 8 boxes. Now I've gotten 8 boxes total, but they would have got that head start right away. If you've gotten nothing since you deposited, it's been 2 weeks, you likely deposited too little. Every Ethereum will get you 25 box pieces every week. That means if you deposited half an Ethereum, you are getting 12.5 boxes a week, right? If you deposited a quarter of an Ethereum, 6.25 boxes a week. Any less than that, smaller fractions. So you can imagine that this becomes like, if you did 0.1 Ethereum, then you're getting 2.5 box pieces a week. That means 10 weeks. And people have asked, what if you don't get an NFT before the airdrop? From what I understand, any unused pieces get discarded. And so if you have boxes and you're just collecting them, you better open them at some point, because if you don't open those boxes, they just get thrown out too. So this is something you really have to consider, right? If you're putting enough in that you're not going to get a full box or at least 2 boxes, maybe reconsider, maybe do what I showed you above with Aperture swap. And then you can trade like what does 0.1 ETH get you here? See. Okay, so not that much. You get $1. But let's say you did 0.2 ETH. What do you get? Yeah, you get $2. I guess it's not that good until you go way higher. Did that thing just get eaten up as I talked about this? Oh, you know what? It's because these values are not very good, right? Like this is not actually like that equivalent, because 0.07 ETH is definitely not $7. So this number is just wrong. What I would say here is you could even do a small amount, do 0.1 ETH and get like 0.11 ETH back. Like you're looking around like 7 to 10% gain just by doing the swap versus depositing. So that, like I said, that could be an option. So make sure you consider that. For those of you who are also telling me, hey, like I haven't deposited yet, but I want to, I get tons of DMs a lot, right? If you're doing that, it's kind of late. And like eventually the stuff's going to be cut off, and then you're just going to have a withdrawal period. If you're going to deposit, make sure at a minimum at this point you're doing 1 ETH, and don't do any fractions. Don't do like 1.25, because that will take you like 4 different periods to make that up, to make up that extra 0.25 that you've done for no reason. If you want to do that and you want to have 1.25 in there, bridge over 1, use Aperture swap to trade the other 0.25, get a premium on your ETH, and now you can go and stake that in either LayerBank or Shoebill like I showed you. Now, some people are asking, is it worth buying all 6 NFTs from the secondary market and combining them to get the premium NFT? So to answer that question, we'll have to go to the actual website. So one of the things I'll say here is the value of these boxes continues to flip. Now, the lead codes is the most expensive one at currently 0.46979 Ethereum. Everything else is kind of like low, right? Like imagine this like the monopoly pieces at McDonald's, right? Like tier 1 backers is useless as a rate limiter because everyone has that, right? There's 1.1 million of that existing. Compare that to the 5,000 lead codes that exist, the 18,000 fixed high yields, 52K legit teams. Yes, you could sort of combine all of these. And honestly, I think the golden NFT, there's less of those in existence. So they will share the 15 million Manta tokens. So if you have a lead code NFT and you're not selling it, I would buy all the others and merge them. That would be my plan. But I would not go down that approach. I would not buy the lead code thing otherwise, right? That's one option. If you have the other NFTs, what I've been doing is, especially the tier 1 backers, I think they're overvalued right now. Someone did the math and they told me the equivalent value was around $2 for the tier 1 backers. It's currently sitting at $4. Honestly, I'm not making enough right now, so I have one, and there's no point selling just one of them because you pay like 50 cents in gas. So I'm going to hold on to them at this point, but I could see myself buying them at $2 or below for the tier 1 backers. If you look on Twitter, you can find a ton of people who've done the analysis because they look at the number of tokens, they've run the simulation on how many of these NFTs will exist by the endpoint, and based on that, they have a rough idea. The one assumption that we don't know, and Manta put out a tweet on this, right? Here are the 6 NFTs. They're getting 30 million Manta. And we know that tier 1 backers will get the least of the 6, but we don't know by how much. Does that mean that lead codes is getting twice as much as tier 1 backers? If that's the case, lead code should not be worth as much as it is. Let's just be straight up here. That being said, we know that part of the value on lead codes could be because it's the only way you get the gold NFT, right? It's the rarest one of the bunch, so you need that to do this. Now, there are 6 NFTs or 6 regular NFTs, all of which get 30 million Manta. If we take a look over here and we just assume there is 1.1, 375K, maybe we say like 1.5 million. Out of the 1.5 million, that means 20 are going on average to these, but obviously, it's going to be a weighted average because lead code is going to get more than fixed high yields and legit teams, secure multi-stake leaderboard scores, etc. Right? So this one is actually definitely probably worthwhile getting because 15 million Manta are going to be distributed to these holders, and there's so few of them in comparison, right? I don't know the exact count. If somebody knows where to find that information on the blockchain, I'd love to have it because I think this will help us sort of know exactly where we are. The whales are going to make a lot, but everyone else might not get much Manta. Yeah, I think this is that's pretty accurate statement. If you were looking to turn a little bit of money into a lot of money, this is not the airdrop. I think you do get some gains, but it's not the kind of gains that you can get from some other projects, especially for the kind of investment. And by the way, for those of you watching who know a lot about the EVM chains, take a look at the Cosmos ecosystem. I made a video on Cosmos. I'm going to just YouTube this while I talk. And basically, the Cosmos ecosystem has the easiest airdrop system in existence. And I think for those of you who are able to check it out, it's a much smaller investment. I have the video for that up right here. I would definitely check this out. I think that if you watch this video and you sort of see this, you'll probably see that, hey, you could probably put in like $500, $600, and for the next 3 to 4 months, do minimal work to gain airdrops that can be significant. And as a reminder, Celestia, which that airdrop was worth like 15,000, it came out of this one. So just take a look at this, consider that if you're looking to actually make a ton of money. If we're looking at Ethereum staking protocols, they're all going to be very similar, right? Unless you get very lucky and open up an NFT, right? We got JQ in the house. Happy New Year, Brown Gent. Thanks for the updates. You're most welcome. Happy New Year to you too. Methylin says that they have tier 1 to 4 NFTs. So let's just take a look at that. Tier 1 to 4, where are we? So which one's tier 1? Which one's tier 4? Do you mean tier 1 being like this one? Oh, I see. You have it based on this. You have tier 1 backers, leaderboard scores, secure multi-sig legit teams. I see what you mean. Okay. Well, you're just 2 away from having the complete one, right? So here is where I stand right now. I have 1 tier 1 backers. I have 17 out of 25 box pieces. I got 52 box pieces a week because I'm a dumbass, and I bridged 150 USDC here. Part of it was also just to make sure that if they did an airdrop that said, hey, did you bridge USDC? Did you bridge TIA? Did you bridge ETH to Manta? I can say, yes, I did. So that's probably why. But it's not really doing that much for me because you can see I'm getting a difference of an extra 2. And I need enough weeks to pass for that 2 to become relevant, right? Now I have 4 boxes here. And what this shows you here is the frenzy, which is basically like if you don't open very well, if you don't receive a frenzy box in your next open, your chances of receiving one in the future increases by 7%. Obtain more frenzy growth chances by smashing them, the team goals. So the last part of this video that I wanted to show you guys is, I want to thank everyone who sort of wanted to use referral codes. There's a bunch of people who had to turn away because the amounts were too little at the start, and then after the fact, people reached out to me with like 10 Ethereum. Our team was full. I'm like, oh my god. So here are the people that either they were on my team or they're like sort of they were significant off my team. And what I'll first say is anyone on my team who joined early, I probably use your referral code, and I talked to most of you to get more of your referral codes. One person in this group got 40 extra box pieces because, hey, I couldn't take anyone else, right? Because I sort of screwed up the start. When I first opened up a Manta Airdrop thing here, I posted a bunch of my codes in the description, and people signed up. And as you can see, I was to show you this again. You go back to invites. I got a 0, I got a 0.013, a 0.065. So it really made it so hard for me to get that 20 ETH to get the unlimited invite codes. I've learned from this time, and next time I won't let that happen. But for those of you who did support by joining the team early, I always want to support the team back. So everyone who joined the team early has gotten more than what I owed them in incentives back. And then as an incentive for those to use what you see in purple here, an indirect code, which is they use a referral code from somebody who used my referral code. So it helped that person out. They got the full incentive. And as the person who is indirect, I get half the incentive. And I just give all of that half, all of what I got from that referral back to whoever it is. So in this case, here are 5 individuals. There might be more, but no one else has confirmed to date. I've also hidden a bunch of stuff because I don't want to give people's personal information, their full names, their like wallet addresses and everything. You can probably see some things are hidden. That's why. What we're going to do today is I'm going to open up 4 boxes. The first 2 boxes will be for these individuals. The only way to sort of split up a box piece, because, I can't give them back, or, eventually I'm just going to have to keep sort of giving all these back by getting them to use their referral code. And it gets so confusing. What we're doing here is anybody, all the ones I still owed, which is the ones up here, the ones in yellow and purple, I put them into 2 separate categories. So box 1, we've got, how many? We got 15.5 box pieces, okay? And they are getting a percentage of that box. So what's gonna happen is if I get the NFT for it, I'm not gonna sell the NFT. I'll just wait till we find out what that NFT gives in Manta token and provide those Manta tokens back in that percentage to those individuals, right? So whether it's a fraction or whatever. I'm also giving myself the remainder, which was 9.5, right? So that way I paid off all of those 7 people. Then we had somebody who deposited 10 Ethereum, Rob. So I only got 20 box pieces. He's getting all 20 of them. The person whose referral code he used got 40 box pieces, which is absurd. So they're welcome. and he's getting 80% of whatever is in box 2. I'll get 20% for the remaining 5 box pieces that I used. So you guys already know I'm doing this live just so everyone sort of sees this is on the up and up. It's not pre-recorded, and then people can be like, hey, how do I know that you didn't just open a box and decide, hey, I'm not going to show this one? So the first box will be box 1. The second box will be box 2. Box 3 and box 4 will be for me. And as you can see here, in case anything screws up, currently I have one tier 1 backer. That's the only NFT that I hold. So we'll start with box 1, which is right here. So we'll open it up. Open. And I'm probably going to have to sign something. We recommend using what? Open 1. I just got to sign this. Sorry, guys. 42 cents for the transaction. All right. Let's do it. Let's see how it goes. I feel like it takes forever. Like another tier 1 backers. Okay. So tier 1 backers, unfortunately. All right. And let's just make sure we're good here. So now we have 2. You guys can see we have 2. Okay. Now we'll open. Oh, what's a frenzy? Okay, whatever. So this frenzy box is going to be 80% for Rob, 20% for me. Let's do it. Watch, this is going to be the good one. Because I only get 20% of it. But hey, I will take that. Open up that lead box, please. Lead code. Wait, what? What? No way. No way. Okay. Well, I mean, you see it here, right? I called it. Wow. Okay. So this is what Rob gets, eh? He gets 80% of this. I mean, I'll take it. Like I've got nothing. So I'll take 20% of this. Lead box 5. What is this? Leader board scores 10. Wow. All right. That's insane. Okay. So now we will open the other 2, and I'm sure it won't be as good. Hey, like I'm just happy because like that thing is worth what, like 0.45 Ethereum, which means I got like, you know, whatever, like 20% of that is like $200. I'll take it. Rob gets like 800 plus all the other stuff. So, all right, can we do another lead box, please? Come on. Yeah, of course. All right, so because it's just me, we're back to tier 1 backers. All right. Yeah, that frenzy box was insanity. Yo, it's Sacco. Yeah, you know what? Hey, don't worry about that. It's all good, dude. Like you know, I was saying all this stuff to not to sort of put anyone down, but more for myself to be like, hey, like, you know, I should have managed it better. All right, I got a leaderboard scores. Okay, how much is that worth? Oh, okay, like the second worst one. All right, whatever. We still got this one. That's nice. All right, I'm gonna have to write Rob an email to be like, hey, dude, watch the video. I'm not gonna like ruin it for you, but if you want to see what we split, check it out and let me know what you want to do. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I hope from this you kind of got an update on the new paradigm for Manta. I hope I answered some of the questions that you guys had, some of the most common things that are coming up. And we had some fun opening some boxes. I will sort of stack up some more boxes. Maybe we'll get another frenzy in the future, and we'll see how that goes. Anyways, if you liked the video, hit the like button, share the video if you can. I would love that. But most importantly, if you haven't already, if you like this content, you find value, you want to see more of this stuff, subscribe to the channel. It really helps help me get to 5,000 subscribers. I want to thank you all for watching. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.